Adam, how would you like to turn into an idiot?
I'm not sure I follow.
For our new sponsor, Village Idiot Pub, the 5K.
Oh, yeah. Village Idiot Pub in historic Cocoa Village is holding an event for the Children's Hunger Project called The Village Has Lost Its Idiot Again.
The run is a 5K held right in front of Village Idiot Pub on Harrison Street in Cocoa.
It's an event to raise money and awareness for the Children's Hunger Project. While you can run, you don't have to. You can walk, skip, or drink your way to the end.
So bust out those costumes, bedazzlers, and sequins and get creative, as there will be awards for the best dressed fool or idiot. The theme is Masquerade Ball.
Also, you've heard them on Living Podcariously do a performance, as well as guesting on the Twisted 10. Our friends of the podcasts, Hot Pink, will be performing for the Village Idiot at 7 p.m.
This 5K is not a timed event. It's a fun run. It's really about having fun and raising some money for the Children's Hunger Project.
Village Idiot Pub has over 30 beers on tap, including ciders as well as Hefeweizens, my favorite, hundreds of bottle choices, and a great selection of wine.
So get your friends together for the run, then enjoy the board games, puzzles, and giant Jenga inside, as well as Hot Pink's performance.
Jason and the rest of the staff are awesome and will take excellent care of you.
Mention either one of our shows to the staff and get 10% off your tab.
You can catch the entire cast from Living Podcariously as well as the Twisted 10 there on April 1st for this run. I'm thinking we should set up mics and let our listeners and the people at Village Idiot add some commentary.
Ooh, that could be dangerous.
The Village Idiot Run will be on April 1st, directly in front of the Village Idiot Pub on Harrison Street in Cocoa, directly across from the big park.
Visit Village Idiot Pub on Facebook for full event details.
.21 gigawatts. Great Scott! What the hell is a gigawatt?
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to the Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique, host-created top 10 list, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle and Adam Poston.
All right, and welcome to another quizidential episode of the Twisted 10.
Tacking his words.
I don't know.
You're just making things up.
Yeah.
Is that like a financial institution? Quizidential. We have the best rates.
Well, my name is Taka. I'm one of your hosts. I'm the fifth wheel here today.
You are one of the hosts? Nice.
Oh, no, I'm not a host today.
Oh.
I'm just a guest today. I just get to sit in, listen, kick back, enjoy the show, just like you listeners out there. And just to my right is...
I'm Adam. I'm also not one of your hosts this week.
Over on the Lady Chase.
I'm actually taking over the Lady Chase tonight. This is Jay Alvarez. Again, not a host.
And don't you have somebody with you? Or do you not want to... Are we not doing that?
Is she invisible?
No.
All right, well, nobody's
Secret
here.
guest.
Secret guest. And then over there...
Secret listener.
Secret listener. And we have...
So, welcome to my very exciting show. Is that too loud? Okay. So, welcome to my very interesting...
Quizidential?
Quizidential show. My Twisted 10.
Who are you?
Oh, I am Andrea Joy.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Hey, Tack, do you want to tell our...
Wait.
You want to tell our new listeners real quick about what the Twisted 10 is, in case this is a first-time
Yes,
listener?
of course. Would you like to tell them? Or?
No.
Okay.
You want me to? You do it.
Let's have...
You want to improv?
All right, our Twisted 10.
No. If this is the first time you ever listened to the show... Oh, you want to do it?
Go ahead.
Okay. If this is your first time listening to the show, what we do is we somebody comes up, the host of the show comes up with their own unique, original top 10 list about whatever it is that they want, and then we talk about it, we break it apart, we tear it and set it on fire, and then we glue it back together, just like that, and then we put it in a sandwich and we eat it. And
I mean, that's a pretty good explanation.
And then it turns into a list for our show.
Turn into a list, yeah.
I am so scared about what's about to go down tonight.
And we talk about it, we break it down, and that's what we do on the show. We talk about anything we want. And so, yeah.
And there are not just 4 of us. Well, there are 4 of us that usually host this show, but it's not just the 4 of us that do the only hosting.
Yeah.
We sometimes have guests that come in from the outside, sit in studio in here with us, and spit their own Twisted 10 episode out to us. And then we also have some folks that can connect over Skype, over the internet, do whatever. So if you're interested in hosting one of these shows, Tach, what other podcast gives up the host for the entire hour to a stranger?
That would be the Roadster with John. I don't know. I was trying to make something up.
Of course, maybe that's a bad business model.
Yeah, no.
No other podcast does that, ladies
That's the
and
correct
gentlemen.
answer.
Right.
No other
Just us.
podcast.
None. But yeah, hit us up at what's our email address that they can send the
It is
contact
the
information to?
twisted10@gmail.com.
All right.
All right, without further ado, I present Andrea Joy's Top 10 Time Travel Anecdotes.
Yay! And we have here. Sorry.
What?
I don't know if we're supposed to be mentioning her or not.
She
What, did
still
she-
exists.
Did she come back from the future or something?
Well, her name's Lorraine. So
Oh, good call. I'm going to play right there the music from Back to the Future.
Dun,
So I'm fucking Marty McFly's mom, is what you're saying?
Yep.
I'm all right
It's pretty
with that.
hot, isn't it?
It is.
So what is it one more time? I'm sorry. Time travel what?
Time Travel Anecdotes.
Anecdotes. What is an anecdote
Yeah,
for our
It's an
listeners?
interesting or amusing story.
Oh, okay.
Very cool. Are these fiction, nonfiction? What are these?
That's up to you to decide.
Is that the twist?
Well, okay. Oh, is that the twist? Or is it
That's
is it one of
just-
those that these are claimed to be true?
Are they?
Okay.
Are they true?
I don't know.
How can you
that
know
was
for
my
sure?
question.
I think you're asking a question she wasn't prepared for.
Why don't you just listen to them?
Okay.
All right, number 10.
10.
Yes.
The woman caught in a temporal vortex. Could this lady be half paralyzed because she is one of this century's time travelers? The 30-year-old woman told her doctor the story of how half her body became paralyzed. She and her friends were camping in the vicinity of Marcahashi, totally pronounced wrong, but okay, the famous stone forest in Peru. They were out exploring when they heard music and noticed a small lit cabin. There were people dancing inside, so she wanted to look. She stuck her head into the door and noticed that they were all dressed in 17th century clothing. At that moment, her friend pulled her out. She claimed that half her body remained in the temporal vortex and that is why she is half paralyzed.
What?
I think they got a hold of some really good berries out in Peru.
Yeah. Or they ate some of those mushrooms from those Peruvian cows.
She went to a costume party then?
Yeah, she found they were eating some fun time stuff they found on the trail.
But it was only a split second. Her friend pulled her right out. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden she's paralyzed.
Weird.
I would straight up do Adam Sandler's Billy. What movie was that when he had the dead foot? When he had the butler stab him in the foot because he said it was paralyzed. I would
Yeah,
fully do
Mr.
that.
Deeds.
Yeah, I would Mr. Deeds this woman's whatever half that's frozen just to see if it worked. That sounds violent. I didn't mean to get so violent so early in the show. It's just kidding.
I want to know what trail she was on. I want to know what bushes she was picking berries off of.
You know, Peru borders Colombia, doesn't it? No, it's other side.
No,
it's other
it
side of the
doesn't.
country.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ, man.
Well, I've been to both Lima and Bogota, so I should know, but I don't.
No. All right, ready for number 9?
Are there any twists in any of this, or are they just
Are they twisted enough on their own?
all right? Okay.
Number 9. 1995 smartphone photo. The footage uploaded on September 18th, 2015 by Jamie Batam shows us a 1995 Las Vegas
Mike
boxing
Tyson.
match
Yep.
featuring Mike
I remember
Tyson
this one.
and Peter McNeely. A perfectly normal affair, to be sure, but in the crowd we see an alleged time traveler holding up what some claim to be a modern-day smartphone. Here, I have a little picture for you guys.
Oh.
Right.
I've seen
I've
this.
looked into this,
Oh wow.
but
So
I'll let you finish your story.
That definitely looks like an iPhone or an Android or something with a camera kind of offset and large in the top part of the back. Huh.
Skeptics may claim the object is just an ordinary, unique camera available at the time. A Casio, perhaps. But do we know the truth?
Yeah, I was doing some research on that, and there's trying to remember what it was, a Casio. I think it's a QV100. If you look that one up, that looks exactly like that, and that was made in 1995. And then talk about how, well, why is he shooting vertical and not like this? You know, well, I mean, you could do that with this camera, and I think it's
Or
a Casio.
is it a smartphone?
Or it
It's
could be a
just
notepad that he was writing something on. I think, or
Casio
it could be
QV100.
Photoshop.
No, it's a time traveler for sure.
Yeah, that's a smart answer.
Yeah, there's
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and if you hold it just right,
Yeah, I guess that could
doesn't that look
potentially
just like it?
kind of.
It was a circle, not a square. That
Yeah.
one's closer.
This is just like it.
Considerably.
Even has the swoop down here, and you got the in the corner.
Are you just trying to
I
ruin my
don't
top 10?
know.
No.
I mean,
no.
here's
This
the
is
deal.
all
The guy
speculation.
had floor seats to a Mike Tyson fight, so he obviously had some money. Enough money to definitely afford some brand new Casio camera.
Or enough money to have a time machine. You
Yeah,
don't
but I'm
know.
sorry.
Exactly.
That right there is not what
No,
that is.
That's
So
not
the
what that
picture,
is.
the Mike Tyson picture that you see, the phone in the background or the alleged phone in the background, has a completely different placement of like the lenses and flashes like this other one have. I think we're onto something here. I think that was a time
I
traveler.
almost called you Holly. Andrea, this is like my wheelhouse. So you picked a great top 10 list. So
I did it just for you.
thanks, buddy.
Number 8,
Ocho.
Number 8.
The Future Roadhouse. One night in 1972, 4 co-eds from Southern Utah University were driving back to their dorm in Cedar City after spending the night at a rodeo in Nevada. It was about 10 p.m. and the girls were eager to get back to their dorm before curfew. They were traveling along Highway 56, which has a reputation for being haunted. A while after taking a fork in the road, they turned to the north. The girls were surprised to see that the black asphalt had turned into white cement road that eventually ended abruptly at a cliff face. They turned around and tried to find their way back to the highway, but soon became concerned about unfamiliar landscape. Red canyon walls that gave way to open grain fields and pine trees, which they had never encountered before in this part of the state. Feeling completely lost, the girls felt some comfort when they approached a roadhouse or tavern. They pulled into the parking lot, and one of the passengers poked her head out of the window to get the directions from a few men coming out of the building. But she screamed and ordered the driver to get out of there fast. The girls sped off, but realized they were being chased by men in strange tri-wheeled egg-shaped vehicles. Speeding again through the canyon, the girls seemed to have lost their pursuers and found their way to a familiar desert highway. The reason for the scream? The men, she said, weren't human.
Dun, dun, dun.
And they were driving eggs. I think I heard that right.
Eggs.
I've heard that before. It's been a long time since I
Now,
heard that story.
is that
but-
time travel or alien abduction?
Well, some people say that the aliens are future us, is one of the theories as well. I'm
Yeah,
not
that-
saying I
Yeah.
believe everything I hear, but I'm saying it's one
I think
of
they
the
got a
theories.
hold of some really good mushrooms too.
That's your Ray Burrito answer for everything.
I'm pretty sure they found some really good mushrooms,
And then they fucked
And
the
they're
guys
fucking
in the
somebody
eggs.
else.
and they're probably fucking other people while they're tripping balls.
All right, number 7.
Number 7.
Andrew Basiago. Basiago.
BASIAGO?
I-A-G-O.
Is this the,
NGO?
Basiago?
Is this the
NGO.
Pegasus
Bingo was
Project?
his name. Oh, nobody got that.
Yes.
See, I know all this
Time
shit.
traveling
Go
child.
ahead.
Mr. Basiago is a smart dude. He's a lawyer, holds 5 degrees, and was a member of the Mensa. M-E-N-S-A.
Mensa.
You
Yeah.
said that right.
Mensa. He'd also like you to believe that he was the first child to teleport through time, so you may want to take the rest of his claims with a grain of salt. Basiago claims that as a child growing up in the 60s and 70s, he was involved in Project Pegasus, a project led by the United States military exploring time travel and teleportation. 140 children total were involved. Basiago's adventures included being sent back to 1 million BC and watching dinosaurs, being sent to 2045 to pick up microfilm, and meeting Barack Obama while he was still in school. As a reward for his good time service, Basiago was sent to hear Lincoln give the Gettysburg Address, where he claims to have been photographed. Since coming forward with his claims, Basiago has campaigned for the U.S. government to reveal its time travel secrets. He's also jumped on the 2012 bandwagon, claiming a series of events that will lead to Washington, D.C. underwater. If you find this difficult to believe his claims, you're not alone. His supporters, however, make a valid point. He's a lawyer. Have you ever known a lawyer to lie?
Nice.
You know,
I just trust lawyers who have gone to really good partying schools and know where to find some really good mushrooms.
I know the story pretty well. It wasn't just also time travel. He did mention teleportation too, but he also claims he was in the program with Barack Obama, and they also went to Mars also a lot. This is back when they were in college, because he started when he was a child, and yes, he claims that's him in a picture at the Gettysburg Address, which is a bunch of people. There's one
in there,
kid that
too.
stands out, but you can't tell. It could be fucking anybody.
That was me.
Yeah, it's believable it was you. You know, it's like you can't tell. And here's the reason. Now we know for sure that it's not true, because in one of his claims, like he does speeches and shit like that. He tells amazing stories. He goes into so much detail. Because people ask questions, he'll open it up like, what questions you got? Well, what kind of weapons did you know? And he'll explain everything down to super detail. And people claim either like this is all true, or he's the most amazing science fiction writer ever, and can come up with everything at the drop of a hat. But he also claimed that all the presidents were picked, and Barack Obama was handpicked to be president. And then he also hinted that he was going to be picked to be the next president. He didn't even run, because I was looking for it specifically.
Would you have voted for him if you saw it on the ballot?
If I would have saw him on the ballot, I'd be like, holy shit, this guy's, oh my God, this is going to be
He's
true.
right.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it didn't happen.
Maybe Trump's going to just unzip his face and it's going to be that guy underneath.
Oh, how fucked up would that be if, like, he does somehow end up being president?
Speaking of mushrooms.
And then he rips that off, and then he's Fred Savage.
Oh, I thought.
Another hottie.
Really?
He's a hottie now?
Fred Savage?
I always thought he was
Oh,
cute.
okay.
All right.
She likes her a wild man, savage man.
I was thinking of the Wonder Years.
No, I love that show.
Oh, you're a pedophile.
All right, number 6.
Number 6.
Cease.
Poston Nordquist traveled to meet his future self. It all happened on the afternoon of the 30th of August. It was a beautiful day, and I was on my way home from a job in Vargestanden.
Is this that bald guy?
When I
Yeah.
got home, I
Yeah, I've seen
found...
this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys know every single one of these.
No, I'm a nerd for this. I probably know all of them, but I didn't know the first one. I didn't know that one.
When I got home, I found water on the kitchen floor. Somehow there was a leak. I got my tools and opened up the doors to the sink and started to work. When I reached in to examine the pipes, they seemed to be further in than I remembered. I had to crawl inside the cabinet, and as I did, I discovered that it just continued. So I kept on crawling further and further into the cabinet. In the end of the tunnel, I saw a light, and when I got there, I realized I was in the future. I met myself at 72 years old. The year was 2042. I did a lot of tests on him to see if he was really me, and the strange thing is, he knew everything about me, where I hid my secret stuff when I was in the first grade, and what the score was in the soccer match against... Nora?
I want to call that one. I don't think you said it right.
Okay, what is it?
It's our
V-A with 2 dots above it, X-J-O with 2 dots above it, Nora?
That would have helped in the game last time.
Yeah, it's called Kenny Bunport.
In the summer of 88.
Gotcha.
He knew it all. We even had the same tattoo, although his was a little faded. He told me some of the stuff that will happen, but not so much, and I promised not to tell anyone. I made a film with my mobile phone. Unfortunately, the quality is not the best, but it's what I've got. Actually, I don't care if anyone thinks I'm a liar. I know I'm not. I met myself in the future, and I was fine. That's all I know.
So they've played that video on like
I've seen
History
that.
Channel and shit, and all these cool places. And the son of a bitch looks like him. It legitimately looks like an older version
really
of him. Looks like his dad.
Does no comment.
Yeah, look, I mean, come on. There's
I don't know which
supposed to
one.
comment.
It sounds like
I don't know which one to say.
It sounds
You
like
can
he
talk
come,
about the story, of course.
Well,
it sounds
Don't
like
debunk
he-
it.
I feel like it sounds like he
That's what
comes
I'm
from a
talking
place where absinthe is always flowing. And well, you know, absinthe.
makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, absinthe in the East is what we use mushrooms for. So they've got really good mushrooms.
What really happened is he laid down under a sink and passed out. Is that really what
Yeah.
happened?
I'm pretty sure.
there's mushrooms growing underneath it because there's
But he's
water.
got a video.
And him and his other tripping friends on karaoke.
Dude, you look just like Bob, just older.
It's okay if you don't not to be true. I didn't say they were truths. I said they were stories.
True. I got
Anecdotes.
you there, but I don't want to like rain on your.
No,
I'm just-
he's wanting to tell a whole different thing that's not a story.
How did I get roped into this?
No. I'm not talking about that. I don't want to like debunk something. You know, if you don't. want
Oh,
me
she
to-
doesn't care if you debunk it? No, I want it debunked. I want to hear this.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it for all of them, but I know this one specifically. Well, I looked it up on Snopes. And Snopes says it's actually, I think it's like, let me just look it up real quickly.
Do also note that Snopes was originally created by an old man and his wife in a garage.
Okay.
It was a couple. It wasn't a big
so
researching
were most
conglomerate.
websites.
No, got it. But this is supposed to be the end all
There's
be
only-
all.
Apple Industries.
There's only 10
But this
people
is-
that work at Wikipedia.
Right, but Wikipedia is something that's updated by the world.
Right.
They just run the platform. Snopes is supposed to be the end all be all of myth busting on the internet, and it was originated. It's bigger now, but it was originated by two people who obviously can't do the research of the world. You know, everything that's out there.
Right.
So just understand, Snopes has been snoped, if you know what I mean.
Snopes has been Snoped?
Yes, on many topics. They've changed them, but they've been busted on many things.
Huh. Interesting. Trying to find it. Well, I'll have to look it up again. But it said something about how it was. That was a promotional to promote something, commercial for something.
Getting old?
Getting old. That's what it was. It was for plumbing. No, I don't know. I can't remember it, but it had like the whole story on it and like
Oh, no.
why the video was made.
I think it's real.
I'm believing it's
He's
real.
not convincing me.
It sounds real.
There's a picture.
Have you checked underneath your
I saw
sink?
it on the internet.
That's true. There's a video.
Bonjour.
Yeah.
I love that commercial. I think
I
that
do
chick
too.
is cute in that commercial too.
All right. Well, that is 10 through 6 of
Oh wow, really? Really?
the top 10.
I thought we were on like a number
incidents.
8 or something. Damn.
Yep, so we will take a break and we will come back with the last 5.
Village Idiot Pub. You locals know about it. You guys from out of town have to check them out.
Village Idiot Pub is now a proud sponsor with Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10 podcasts.
It's more than just about commercials, though. The cast here will be taking our show on the road to Village Idiot to record some episodes as well as hold events. They have over 30 beers on tap, including ciders and Hefeweizen, my favorite, as well as hundreds of bottle choices.
Adam, you forgot my favorite, all the delicious wine. So get your friends together and enjoy the board games, puzzles, and the giant Jenga.
Let the owner, Jason, as well as the rest of the staff there, take excellent care of your beer drinking needs.
Mention either one of our shows to the staff and get 10% off your tab.
Tuesday is open mic, Wednesday is trivia, Thursday is karaoke, Friday and Saturday night are live music.
Visit them at 4 Harrison Street, Suite 103, Cocoa, Florida, or Village Idiot Pub on Facebook. And don't forget, they are a dog-friendly location, so bring your friends, family, and fur babies.
Okay, we have 45 seconds before the anesthesia wears off, so we have to make this quick.
That's not very good anesthesia.
Focus now. Remember why we're here.
Honestly, no. Sandwiches?
Soon. Look, we're here to tell the Twisted 10 listeners about our show, the Conversation Hat Podcast, in which a hat tells us to talk about geek culture, the arts and the abstract, features guests from the creative industries along with original sketches and music.
Oh yeah. I guess we'd mentioned that the Conversation Hat is available on iTunes, SoundCloud and on stabbedpanda.com, right?
I really wish we'd scripted this before breaking in.
Liam, they're starting to wake up.
Oh, darn, there's no time. Come on, through the window.
We forgot the sandwiches.
Alright, and welcome back to the Twisted 10. I've been doing my list of the top 10 time travel anecdotes.
Yay.
I like it.
We had 10 was the woman caught in the temporal vortex, 9, 1995 smartphone photo, 8, the future roadhouse, 7, Andrew Vaziago, the time-traveling child, and 6 was Hassan Nordquist. And before I do my other last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Adam wanted to bring up a little twisted snidbit of time travel.
Good segue, baby. So
That's first flawless.
So this is basically proving, and this is peer-reviewed across several different colleges internationally now, but this is proving that time travel is a possibility. Can actually, like, no shit happen.
Of course, forwards, but backwards is a little tricky.
Well, you would think so. Of course, now I don't know where my article went. All right, here it is. This is out of MIT, so this is, I mean, like a real college.
It's legit.
Yeah.
It's legit. And it has been peer-reviewed. Physicists have created, well, that's hard to say. Physicists have created the world's first time crystals. Have you heard about this yet?
I've heard a little bit about this.
Yeah, time crystals were originally predicted in 2012, so not that long ago. Now researchers have created time crystals for the first time and say they could one day be used as quantum memory. So memory that existed before it actually took place type of memory. Really, really bizarre and entangled particles. And they have proven it through the creation of these time crystals. These articles go on and on and on, but just go to MIT's website and it'll be right on the very front page, at least right now. And they're pretty cool. It's repeating patterns that are that are the same in some directions, but not in all directions. So it's pretty unique. Go give it a read. So time travel exists.
I
everybody.
definitely will.
Awesome. Number 5.
Number 5.
Cinco.
Robert Victor Goddard.
Goddard.
Or
Goddard?
Goddard?
Goddard.
That name sounds familiar.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Robert Victor Goddard.
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 Got her.
Yeah, not the good. Is it possible to slip into another time period? Well, that is what Sir Robert Victor Goddard, an air
He likes to be called Robbie. Just call him Robbie.
Goddard.
Well, that is what Sir Robert, an air marshal, claimed happened to him. He was sent to inspect a disused airfield near Edinburgh, a little place called Drem that he found. In a little place called Drem that he found was a decrepit state. However, later that day, he ran into a spot of air trouble while flying his biplane during heavy rain. He therefore chose to fly back through Drem to wait for the storm to pass. However, he soon left the tempestuous rain and entered the sunlight. When he looked down, he noticed that the once decrepit field had been transformed and was now in use. Mechanics in blue overalls were walking around the airfield, and he spotted 4 yellow planes on the runway, which he failed to recognize despite his many years of aviation experience. It was 4 years later that the RAF began painting their planes yellow, and guess what? The mechanics' uniforms changed to blue.
Blue uniform. Dun, dun, dun.
So he saw them in the future colors that they were going to have.
Yeah. And it was a shut down airfield.
That's pretty
Can't explain
interesting.
it. I don't know anything about that one.
So that one's totally true.
Has to be true because we don't have a good enough contest for it.
Yep. So number 4.
Number 4.
Cuatro.
John Titor?
Yes. Tudor, I think, isn't it?
Titor?
Oh, Tidor.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tidor. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
John Titor from 2036.
Yep.
John Titor claimed to be a soldier from 2036, sent here using a device installed in a 1987 Chevy to recover an IBM 5100 from 1975 to fight a computer virus that was threatening to destroy the world.
Skynet.
In
Oh my
2000, posts began appearing all over the internet from John Titor. He hinted at serious conflicts created by a series of Russian nuclear strikes in 2015. In 2001, the post from Titor stopped. However, in 2003, a book containing Titor's 151 message board posts was released. The title, John Titor, A Time Traveler's Tale, sold several copies. Says, this other part says, this goes a little more into it. He was on a military mission. He was sent back from 2036 to 1975 to retrieve the IBM 5100 computer, one of the earliest suitcase-sized portable computers that boasted a monochrome 5-inch CRT display. He claimed there was a need to translate some legacy program code. While on his way through the decades, he decided to stop by 1998 and spend a few years hanging out. While here, he drove around in a 1967 Corvette Stingray convertible with a time machine built into it. It's noteworthy that the idea of a time machine installed in a car is not a new one, having entered pop culture many years earlier in a 1985 movie, Back to the Future. It's scarcely inconceivable that a prankster having people...
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
To see that, I was like, Princess... Okay. It is scarcely inconceivable that a prankster having people on with... leading people on with time-traveling posts might as well choose this to insert his old device into an inside joke. So, there.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this guy.
I've heard this story before. I don't know much about it except that. That's about all the facts I remember from it, too.
I don't know. 98 would be a pretty good year to go back to. Just saying.
Well, he was one of the people
Bradley
who
was dead.
claimed the Y2K with the computers. He said that everything was going to...
Right. I don't know why he needed to go all the way back when we still have old computers here. Like, it's not like they disappeared.
Yeah.
They're still here. Well, he wanted to get a new one. Is that what it was?
Brand new.
If you have technology to build a time machine, so you can make
You can emulate,
1975.
emulate how a computer from 19 whatever is going to work.
Works, yeah.
Well, if that was interesting, number 3,
3.
Number 3.
Rudolph Fentz. You know this one?
Name sounds familiar, but I can't remember what the story is.
In mid-June 1950, a man named Rudolph Fentz was hit by a taxi and fatally killed in New York's Times Square. He was dressed in 1800s clothing and had in his pockets...
His stuff in his pockets was strange, yeah.
A copper token for a beer, a bill for the care of a horse and the washing of a carriage, $70, a letter from an 1876, and business cards. All the items showed no signs of aging. An NYPD policeman, confused about the man's attire and belongings, delved back into history only to find that a man of 29 had disappeared in 1876. Was that Robert Finn?
Huh.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's quite fascinating. I think there's even online pictures of some of this shit.
Really?
Could be wrong, though.
So none of the paper wasn't aged or anything like that?
The picture of the
That's what
man.
he's saying. It's nuts.
Huh. I mean, he looks like a normal guy, though. Just looks dressed.
I would say it would
like he's
just be a
dressed
guy
classy.
that was like in a costume, but
With
who
all
would go
that
through
stuff.
all that stuff for a costume and then get killed? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like, I'm going to confuse the world. I'm going to step out in front of this taxi.
Did you ever see the movie? Is it just the new version of the movie Time Machine, or
Yeah, with Guy Pearce.
yeah,
Yeah.
where he's in his little outfit and he shows up and the city builds around him and all that shit?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I like that movie. It's really weird at the end.
Yeah.
They take it to a really bizarre
Because he goes
twist.
the year like 10,080 or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, number 2.
Number 2. Are you about to do some stand-up?
The men...
Jay standing up in studio, raise the mic.
He's going military styles. What you do in the military
Lady
when you get
Chase not-
sleepy.
Yeah, you got to stand up. You got to stand up to avoid falling asleep.
The men who foresaw the firebombing of Hamburg. In 1932, a German newspaper reporter and a newspaper photographer were interviewing people at the Hamburg shipyard. When they left, they heard aircraft engines and bombs exploding all around them, creating an inferno. They quickly snapped pictures of this event and drove back to Hamburg to develop the film. Much to their dismay, there was not any evidence of what they had witnessed, and their editor accused them of being drunk. Later, the reporter moved to London. In 1943, he claimed he saw a newspaper story about the RAF raid on Hamburg with accompanying photos that were exactly as he and his partner had seen 11 years earlier.
Spooky.
In 1943, the RAF did bomb Hamburg, creating World War II's first destruction of a major city. The bombing took the lives of 40,000 people.
Ouch.
Ooh.
So they took these pictures in 1932.
I never heard that one before.
You know what was really prevalent in 1932 in Europe? Mushrooms.
And opium dens.
All right, ready? Number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sure you've heard of this one.
Number 1.
The Philadelphia Experiment.
Oh,
course,
yes. This
of
is
course.
fantastic.
The Philadelphia Experiment.
Eerie, though.
In the fall of 1943, the USS Eldridge was allegedly made invisible and teleported from Pennsylvania to Virginia in an incident that came to be known as the Philadelphia Experiment. Alfred Bielek?
I don't know.
Bielek.
So many licks girls and guys there, Tach.
achieved notoriety as Eldred's sole survivor. His memories were buried until he saw the movie, The Philadelphia Experiment, in 1988, at which time he remembered that he was born in 1916 as Ed Cameron. As Cameron, he had been recruited in 1940 for a Navy project called Project Rainbow, whose purpose was to figure out how to make ships invisible.
That sounds so much fun.
For reasons not entirely clear, Black Ops soldiers later sent Cameron through a portal to the Pentagon to Alpha Centauri 1, where aliens... Did I say it wrong?
Centauri.
Alpha Centauri, it's a star.
Portal to the Pentagon to Alpha Centauri?
Centauri.
Okay. To Alpha Centauri 1, where aliens interrogated him.
Interrogated.
What
said interrogated.
Oh, I'm sorry. Interrogated him.
That's my new word next week.
This is an integrating episode.
And then physically regressed him. Oh, God, I can't remember the sentence. And then physically regressed him into 1-year-old Al Bielek in 1927. Bielek later claimed that he became the director of mind control for the Montauk Project, whose members in the 1980s traveled through a time vortex and changed the outcome of various wars. When they returned to their own time, they would evaluate the changes and determine if they were for the better. If they weren't, they would simply restore the status quo.
Wow.
Yeah, they were saying that when they did a Philadelphia Experiment and then the ship returned, like half of the crew, it's one of those things where like molecules separate and then they're brought back together.
They were like molded into the boat, right?
Yeah. Like people were like screaming because they were like half into the boat, molded into the hull, and arms and legs sticking out.
Do you think they would try that with like a dog or a monkey or something first? I'm just saying. Put humans on there.
That's no fun.
Yeah,
that movie was good, but the story behind it, the conspiracy behind it is
now
so
I want to,
cool.
Though.
Yeah.
It's probably on Netflix. We should look it up.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
And that is my...
That was a great list. I love that kind of stuff.
That was awesome. I'm going to add in some cool sound effects into there. There's going to be some Back to the Future chimes.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of Doctor Who going on in there.
Yeah, all right.
You don't know Doctor Who there, Tach?
Yeah, I used to date a girl that was obsessed with that damn show.
I thought you were going to say you used to date Doctor Who.
I used to date Doctor Who.
That's a great episode.
I saw one episode and I was like,
That was a great episode,
that was
baby.
great. I appreciate that. That was awesome. That's right down, up my alley, down my alley.
Up my skirt.
Up my skirt, whatever.
Who's got next? You?
No, it's you, Adam.
I just did one last week.
Is it me? Jay just went.
You know, I was talking to Ron.
Yeah, I guess it is me.
I was talking to Ron recently. You know, he was like, "Yeah, who has the next one?" I was like, "It's Andrea," and he's like, "No, it's Jay." It's like, and he started going through it. Look, this one did this one, this person that.
No, you know, because there was my episode got posted up really late too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know. I didn't do the math.
I've got 2 episodes in the hopper right now, so it's I'm catching up to ourselves on there. But I kind of did that with some strategy too. We've got some stuff to put into these episodes as well. But all right, I guess I'm up next. I have no clue as to what to give you guys as a teaser.
Well, you might have to wait till my birthday one, since we'll be...
Next week, we're going to be...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep up with the Facebook page for facebook.com/thetwisted10, because we may be recording an episode at our brand new sponsor up at Village Idiot Pub.
So if you want to get a hold of us, send us an email at thetwisted10@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook at Facebook/thetwisted10. On Twitter at thetwisted10. Jay, you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I'm going to be, I mentioned on Living Vicariously, I am going to be at Old School Pizza in Midtown across the street from Melhigh on February 10th. And February 11th, I will be at the Copper Chimney in Palm Bay, Florida. That is on San Felipe and Wyoming. Both shows start at 9 o'clock. Come out, have some fun.
Hey, did you ever talk after the last podcast that we had with Jason from the Village Idiot about maybe doing a room in there?
No, I was going to talk to him when I saw him in person.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. Well, we'll be up there April 1st, by the way.
Yes, we will be for the Village has lost their idiot run again.
Yeah, the Village has lost its
idiot again run.
Yeah, there's a 5K.
Rolls off the tongue.
You'll hear it on the commercial because we got it at the beginning of this show. So you'll hear it.
Speaking of that, who the hell was that in our last break?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Did you get a good look?
No, I didn't.
I don't know.
Andrea, did you?
There's a little note on the fridge that says Liam was here. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Between the list and the stuff that's going on our breaks, I think we all just found some really good acid. That's how I'm.
I
That's
think
how I'm
it's time
cutting this up, too.
traveled.
The Twisted Tent does not endorse the use.
Maybe it was a time traveler.
Maybe.
All right. What do you? Let's get out of here. What do you say,
All right, man. Well, for the Twist Tender, my name is Tach.
Adam?
And don't forget to catch us Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Podcast Radio Network. This is Andrea Joy.
I'm Jay Alvarez.
And thank you, Luann, for coming up here.
She's not here.
She smiled. We acknowledged her a couple times in the show. It's okay. I'll cut all this out. I'm just kidding.
All right,
I won't
go.
cut any.
Bye.
Haley is bored with life and endlessly looking for a purpose and her place in the universe. She knows there's more out there than working 9 to 5. She never imagined going on one job interview would change everything and open doors she never knew existed. Ancient family journals, 2 friends, and an irresistible bloodlust to deal with. Turns out being a vampire isn't as sexy as she thought it would be. Between the monster, late-night bloodbaths, and a vengeful ex-love of her man, it keeps her busy. But it doesn't have to be this way. Does it? Should she live free and forever without responsibilities? Or will she find the direction she's been looking for? One thing she does know is that she will fight for what she wants and create the perfect life without traditional vampire restrictions. And she won't let anyone or anything get in her way. Order your copy of the novel First Generation Book 1 by Zoe Emerson on Amazon. Available on paperback and Kindle. For more information, go to zoeemerson.com.
Interested in hosting one of these shows? Tack, what other podcast gives up the host for the entire hour to a stranger?
That would be the Roadster with John. I don't know. I was trying to make something up.
Of course, maybe that's a bad business model.
Yeah, no.
No other podcast does that, ladies
That's the
and
correct
gentlemen.
answer.
Right.
No other
Just us.
podcast.
None.
Right.
But yeah, hit us up at what's our email address that they can send the
It is
contact information to?
thetwisted10@gmail.com.
All right.
All right, without further ado, I present Andrea Joy's Top 10 Time Travel Anecdotes.
Yay! And we have a little here. Sorry.
What?
I don't know if we're supposed to be mentioning her or not.
She
What, did
still
she-
exists.
Did she come back from the future or something?
Well, her name's Lorraine. So
Oh, good call. I'm going to play right there the music from Back to the Future.
So I'm fucking Marty McFly's mom, is what you're saying?
Yep.
I'm all right
It's
with
pretty
that.
hot, isn't it?
It is.
So what is it one more time? I'm sorry. Time travel what?
Time Travel Anecdotes.
Anecdotes. What is an anecdote
Yeah,
for our
It's an
listeners?
interesting or amusing story.
Oh, okay.
Very cool. Are these fiction, non-fiction? What are these?
That's up to you to decide.
Is that the twist?
Well, okay. Oh, is that the twist? Or
Tach Van Sickle and Adam Poston.
all right, and welcome to another quizidential episode of the Twisted 10.
Tack in his
What?
words.
I don't know.
You're just making things up.
Yeah.
Is that like a financial institution? Quizidential. We have the best rates.
Well, my name is Taka. I'm one of your hosts. I'm the fifth wheel here today.
You are one of the hosts? Nice.
Oh, no, I'm not a host today.
Oh.
I'm just a guest today. I just get to sit in, listen, kick back, enjoy the show, just like you listeners out there. And just to my right is...
I'm Adam. I'm also not one of your hosts this week.
And over on the Lady Chase.
I'm actually taking over the Lady Chase tonight. This is Jay Alvarez. Again, not a host.
And don't you have somebody with you? Or do you not want to... Are we not doing that?
Is she invisible?
No.
All right, well, nobody's
Secret
here.
guest.
Secret guest. And then over there,
Secret listener.
and we have
So, welcome to my very exciting show. Is that too loud? Okay. So, welcome to my very interesting
Quizidential
show. My Twisted 10.
Who are you?
Oh, I am Andrea Joy.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Hey, Tach, do you want to tell
Wait.
Do you want to tell our new listeners real quick about what the Twisted 10 is in case this is a first time
Yes,
listener?
of course. Would you like to tell them? Or?
No.
Okay.
You want me to? You do it.
Let's have...
You want to improv?
All right, our Twisted 10.
No. If it's the first time you ever listened to the show... Oh, you want to do it?
Go ahead.
Okay. If this is your first time listening to the show, what we do is we somebody comes up, the host of the show comes up with their own unique, original top 10 list about whatever it is that they want, and then we talk about it, we break it apart, we tear it and set it on fire, and then we glue it back together, just like that, and then we put it in a sandwich and we eat it. And
I mean, that's a pretty good explanation.
And then it turns into a list for our show.
Turn into a list, yeah.
I am so scared about what's about to go down in that.
And we talk about it, we break it down, and that's what we do on the show. We talk about anything we want. And so, yeah.
And there are not just four of us. Well, there are four of us that usually host this show, but it's not just the four of us that do the only hosting.
Yeah.
We sometimes have guests that come in from the outside, sit in studio in here with us, and spit their own Twisted 10 episode out to us. And then we also have some folks that can connect over Skype, over the internet, do whatever. So if you're in...
Adam, how would you like to turn into an idiot?
I'm not sure I follow.
For our new sponsor, Village Idiot Pub, the 5K.
Oh, yeah. Village Idiot Pub in historic Cocoa Village is holding an event for the Children's Hunger Project called The Village Has Lost Its Idiot Again.
The run is a 5K held right in front of Village Idiot Pub on Harrison Street in Cocoa.
It's an event to raise money and awareness for the Children's Hunger Project. While you can run, you don't have to. You can walk, skip, or drink your way to the end.
So bust out those costumes, bedazzlers, and sequins and get creative, as there will be awards for the best dressed fool or idiot. The theme is Masquerade Ball.
Also, you've heard them on Living Podcariously do a performance, as well as guesting on the Twisted 10. Our friends of the podcasts, Hot Pink, will be performing for the Village Idiot at 7 p.m.
This 5K is not a timed event. It's a fun run. It's really about having fun and raising some money for the Children's Hunger Project.
Village Idiot Pub has over 30 beers on tap, including ciders as well as Hefeweizens, my favorite, hundreds of bottle choices, and a great selection of wine.
So get your friends together for the run, then enjoy the board games, puzzles, and giant Jenga inside, as well as Hot Pink's performance.
Jason and the rest of the staff are awesome and will take excellent care of you.
Mention either one of our shows to the staff and get 10% off your tab.
You can catch the entire cast from Living Podcariously as well as the Twisted 10 there on April 1st for this run. I'm thinking we should set up mics and let our listeners and the people at Village Idiot add some commentary.
Ooh, that could be dangerous.
The Village Idiot Run will be on April 1st, directly in front of the Village Idiot Pub on Harrison Street in Cocoa, directly across from the big park.
Visit Village Idiot Pub on Facebook for full event details.
.21 gigawatts. Great Scott! What the hell is a gigawatt?
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to the Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique, host-created top 10 list, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts